Hey, True Badger Token YouTube channel. Nice to see you. We are back with our daily AMA on nSights DeFi Trader. Guys, we're making huge progress. We're super excited with some of what we're seeing. And I'm Deb Caswell. This is Doug Kyle, and Doug is, uh-oh, can't hear you.
I'm not talking.
No, Margaret said she couldn't hear me. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Huh, wild. All right, well, Doug, I'm going to turn it over to you, and I'll look at my microphone in the meantime.
Yeah, I hear you just fine though, Deb. You sound
Okay.
good.
All right, great.
Yeah. Okay, guys, how's everybody doing? So we're down to really the I would almost say the final strokes, right? Before we can go live. Really nuts and bolts things that really tightening up what's going on. So things like the candles on our charts. We have talked about this. We're developing our own candles so that we're getting the data directly from the blockchain. One of the things that I'm noticing with the development of our candles is that our price levels are different than what I see on like KuCoin or something. Doesn't mean ours is wrong. What I'm doing right now, and I'm having a hard time with BSC scan today, pulling down the hourly data, the tick data in BSC scan, and then actually matching that data up against our candles to actually know which candle set between ours and KuCoin and stuff are more accurate. And ours could very much be more accurate, right? Because KuCoin and other charts backfill the data to have a pretty candle, but a lot of that data is not real. It's just a range that they fill and they create this candle, and it makes the charts look a little bit better, but it's not necessarily what's happening. And for me as a trader, I want to know what's happening. I want to know that the information that I'm looking at is the most accurate information I can be seeing. The ranges are the most accurate that I can be seeing. So if the market actually went to a high or actually went to a low, I want to know that. I want to know what those ranges are. So we've been going through that. If I can get BSC scan to cooperate with me today, where I can do the CSV downloads and match up the candle data, that's going to be my job here for a while, for the rest, well, not the rest of the day, but for the next few hours to really go through the candle data. The other thing that we were going through today is the top 50, 100 coins. We're working with Wazik at a boss's office to really get the all of the data for throwing CoinGecko, CoinMarketCap, are they vetted? We're trying to get the basic vetting information for the top 50 to 100 coins before we go live. We're also dealing with issues like, and we're trying to come up with what we believe are viable solutions to things like SafeMoon. SafeMoon came out with a new contract, and you have to, I guess, go to SafeMoon. I don't own SafeMoon, so you have to go to SafeMoon, and I think go from their old contract to their new contract with your coins, and then that shows up in your wallet. But if you don't do that, and you try to trade SafeMoon with nSights, what's going to happen? What are the ramifications of that? And how do you as a trader know that you need to take care of that? Well, it's your responsibility because it's a coin you're trading, but yet we want to make sure that we're doing everything that we can when other tokens are doing changes like what SafeMoon did. So again, it's really nuts and bolts things that we're really coming down to and really honing in on to get everything kind of polished up and ready for launch. Some of the other things is that the sign up and the admin portion of sign up and stuff is supposed to be done by tomorrow. So we'll be able to test that tomorrow. When I say done, ready for testing. And so Deb and Candace and the team will be on that tomorrow, testing that. And let's see, what else do I got? Oh, And again, these are not super huge things, but they're very important things. When somebody now lands on nSights on the server and stuff that we're working on. Now, the stuff that you guys are seeing is different because we're working on another server, developing this, and then all your links will change to what we're working on. Okay, so you're not seeing everything that we are seeing and everything that I'm showing on the day on these daily calls. But one of the things that we wanted, again, part of the polishing and getting things ready is when somebody lands on nSights, we wanted them to land on nSights, the coin, because it's our platform. And we wanted them to land on TradingView as the view so that, they're not on the nSights charts, which are very important, but they do a different purpose, right? So I really wanted, and this was one of Deb's suggestions, and I love the suggestion that we land on nSights with nSight, the coin, and then the TradingView, the chart. And so that's done. That's been mapped correctly. And then the other thing is that the daily candles are now working and done. So right now you see a 1 hour chart here. It takes a second though, but I can click to daily and we'll go to the daily coins here in just a second. There they are. And I also wanted to show you that the center scroll is now working. I'm going to go back to the 1 hour so you can kind of see that. I'm going to hit auto and that'll automatically center everything. But if I hold the control key now from whatever center point I'm at, it'll scroll outwards from that center point, keeping the candle that I want to be looking at or the barrier. This is the barrier down here I want to be looking at. I can scroll from that center point, scroll in from that center point. Again, all things that you don't think about, but are important for us in terms of getting everything polished up and really ready for us to be able to play and trade, right? The other thing that we're working on, again, doesn't seem like a lot, but all of these things, when we're launching a piece of software that we want the world to use, we got to keep polishing it. We got to keep making it be the best, both at the function that it's trying to do and the presentation to be pleasant and feel good when you're on the platform. So one of the things and the reason that the audit was broken is that we're trying to work on the graphics for the audit graphics itself. And we're trying to actually just move this up to fill this gap, which we don't want that gap. And it's little things like this. And it's numbers of little things that you got to keep tweaking and working on and polishing.
Yeah, and Doug, when we get to this point in any project, and this goes back to all the software development I've done in my past, this is when it gets to be, when you were so close to, being able to hand this over and let people use it, this is when tension gets high. It just feels like there's so much, but in the grand scheme of things, it's not. But this is the hardest part for me when we get to this place in a project. I can actually see it in somebody else's hands, and now all I can think about is the user that can sometimes tear my world apart if I'm not seeing perfection, right?
Absolutely. Well, I got an analogy for this, and I love analogies. And give me a 1 in the chart or in the chat if this is true. How many people have ever moved from one home to another home? Probably just about everybody, right? Tell me if this is not true. You're loading up the U-Haul van or you're getting things boxed up for the movers to come, right? And you've got the bulk of it done and you think, I got another hour or two, right? before I'm done.
Yeah.
It takes another 2 days.
Right.
It takes another 2 days, right? Because the little minutia keeps going on and on and on, and you think, oh my gosh, is this ever going to end?
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Well, that's what Deb's talking about here, right? It's that
Exactly where we are.
that's exactly where we are. That's that minutia that you think, and they're little things, but they're super important things like well tracker. Brendan said the other day, Doug, I don't understand this chart. And he said, can we do a pie chart? And I said, yes, we can do a pie chart, but I don't know if we can do a pie chart before we launch, right? And so, because I got the programmers working on so many other things, but he was right in that if we took the numbers and we represented, let me get this out of here. And again, I'm sharing this from a perspective to help educate, and so you guys understand and know. I love you guys understanding and knowing, right, everything that's going on behind the scenes. But if we look at this here, in fact, let's take this here. Okay. All right, they are working on it, but let's take these numbers here. And I'll ask you guys, which one makes more sense to you guys, right? All right, I'm going to take, all right, I got the screenshot of those numbers. Now, you're looking at this and you're trying to understand what we're trying to represent here with the whales. I'll explain to you what this is, and again, I think Brendan's right. I think it's kind of hard to understand. And this is inaccurate because they don't have the wells right. But
that's
we're
the
trying to
biggest
look.
part. Before you tell too much about this chart, understand the numbers are wrong.
Yeah, this is completely inaccurate data. But given that it might have been accurate, let's see how important this is, even if this was accurate. And it looks like, holy smokes, okay, number of sales, look at the whales selling versus the whales buying. Again, inaccurate data, but if it was accurate, you'd be going, oh my gosh, look at that. Mm-hmm. Well, over here, it represents the number of sellers, number of buyers to the total number of whales. It's kind of hard to maybe understand or kind of hard to visualize, but maybe this would be a better representation if we did something like this. We know that the total number of whales is 880 trillion. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I think that's 880 trillion. And this is, again, all part of the trying to make this the best experience that we possibly can. Okay, Deb, make sure that's 880 trillion while I put in the other numbers.
Trillion, yes. That is correct.
Okay. And 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So if I got this number right, so that should be 1.1 trillion.
That is correct.
And this should be 79 billion, if I got it right. Lots of zeros, guys. We're going to get used to dealing with this many zeros because we're going to be in lots. No, don't got that right. So it's supposed to be 79 billion. Maybe if I delete 1 0, there we go. So billion. These are the numbers that are represented on this chart here. And if we did the representation more as a pie chart, and maybe a 3D pie chart, who knows? Okay. You can now see the amount of sales and the amount of buys to the overall whales is nothing. right? But when I look at this chart, I go, holy smokes, that's really scary, right? That looks like a lot of sellers, a lot of selling going on, right? And maybe it's not easy to see it in a 3D chart. Maybe we need to see it in a 2D chart like this. And we go, okay, well, that really doesn't scare me very much, right? Because there's just, everything is really pretty much holding. But if this number changed by 2 zeros, right? Now I can see how much of the wells are actually selling. And if this number changed by 2 zeros, right? I can see that the buys are a lot less than the sells, but the sells are still not very significant. They're a portion, but they're not a huge significant value compared to the overall wells holding, right? And then if I saw, and the reverse of that would be if this reduced by 2 and this increased by 2, then my representation is easy to see that the wells are getting very aggressive at buying. And so just mapping out the representation of things so that it becomes easy for you guys to understand. We do a lot of back and forth and a lot of testing and try something and we go, that really sucks. It really doesn't work. Okay. It's not what we want, but it's that part of that last 2 days of packing your home up and moving, the polishing that goes on, that seems like it will never end for us, right? To be honest. But yet it's our striving to deliver the best experience possible. Now, are we going to be able to fix that before the day we launch? I don't know. We got other things that we're working on, but it's now in the list of things to be done, right? To be worked on. So anyways, guys, we are making lots of progress, but we're now down to, I think, the smaller strokes to really get things polished up. And if the admin part of the sign up works tomorrow, then tomorrow I expect to be able to announce an official launch date, and we'll be continuing to work on stuff as we launch, but we will have this working in a way that we can actually get together, trade together, and play together and have fun. And start saving some tokens from getting burned and start rewarding people with extra tokens. That's what it's all about. That's what I want to get to. So anyways, that is the update, just to give you an idea. A few things are done. Again, it's all about polishing at this point. So
excellent. Well, I don't see any questions at all. I want to remind everybody that yesterday we did talk about the fact that our swaps on nSights are the same numbers as we get while swapping on PancakeSwap. Earlier when we did the testing, PancakeSwap and PooCoin were matching 100%. So now we know we match across the world, and we are excited about that. So looking forward to seeing you all again tomorrow at 11 o'clock a.m. Pacific, same time, same place.
thank you, Deb. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate it. Keep your fingers crossed. Keep us in your prayers about working on the candles. We're down to really the details. So this is, like Deb said, this is the part that's hard on Deb. So we want to keep her in our thoughts.
Yeah, please. And really focus on Doug, Candace, and Brendan, and Abbas too, because they're taking a beating. So